Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Nate. I'm here with Ryan from Goofy Gophers Mining Club. So happy to be here. What's up, Ryan?
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. Great to be in New York. New York is like the new hub for crypto. The mayor's getting paid in Bitcoin. Thank you so much taking time out your weekend, your great team as well. Perfect time. We sold out a few months ago. All the focus is on the project now, and this is a great chance to explain what we're doing.
Nice. Congratulations on that sellout, by the way.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
A quick note about the mayor. I don't really think he's getting paid in Bitcoin, but he would like to. It was like one of his like running points. Like he was trying to push for better crypto laws in New York, but I haven't seen it happen yet.
Well, that was the bull market. Now it's the bear.
Now
so
it's
he's
the bear
probably
market.
changed his mind.
Yeah. I think a lot of people still don't understand utility in crypto because to understand utility in crypto, you kind of got to get into it and try to use it, right? See what big question. When people ask me, this is a little bit of a side note, but when people ask me what crypto they should get into, I always ask them, what do you think you're going to be actually using? Right? You should do research into that cryptocurrency and see what people are using it for and see if any of that utility is going to be useful to you or if you're even interested in that utility. If not, you might not need crypto right now, right? But anyways, that was a side note. We can get right into this conversation. Again, congratulations for selling out this year. Let's get started. So how did Goofy Gophers Mining Club come to be?
Yeah, so I've been in crypto quite a long time, like 2016 sort of time. So in university, I was studying robotics. A big part of that is electronics. So loads of people were playing with GPUs. They were mining like Litecoin, Bitcoin. So I was a little bit into it then. I then changed degree to finance because I was running an Amazon business. Super simple. We were getting products made in China, sold them here in the US and in the UK. So I was in university with that income coming in. I wanted to diversify out a bit, not have it all going into Amazon products. So at first it was like normal stocks, bonds, and then one of my friends was heavily into Bitcoin. And this was the early days. It's not like it is now where it's ubiquitous, everyone knows what it is. This was the days where like Bitcoin was internet drug money. So
The Silk Road, they called it?
all that sort of stuff.
Right.
But I researched it. I was like, this is a phenomenal idea. True decentralization makes sense for the future.
Right.
So I put a bit in. The next month, it was like triple what I put in. I was now really, really into it. I joined my university's investment club. To my surprise, no one in there was interested in crypto. So when you first join, there's a competition. Whoever can make the most in 3 months out of stocks, bonds, assets, anything. Everyone was like day trading different securities and things. I just put it into Bitcoin and Litecoin. Didn't touch it again for the whole 3 months, and mine was up like triple anyone else's. So then they made me head of crypto for the club, and there was about 300 people in the club, so it was big. I was 18. I discovered crypto a month before being made the head of crypto. So I was very much thrown into the deep end. And then I was giving talks about different altcoins. I was doing a lot of research, and it was an incredible learning opportunity. Then more recently, I've been working in finance. I noticed NFTs in the bull market, got really interested. There was a lot of problems though with ETH NFTs. I tried to buy one that was from this movie producer, and if you bought his NFT, you get a share in his Hollywood movies. But it was on ETH. It was $80. After gas fees, it was like 150. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I then eventually discovered Solana and Cardano NFTs. Very early days of Cardano NFTs. I discovered this project called Ghost Chain.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard of them.
Sure.
They now made Flipper.
Yeah.
And they had this idea where they're going to build a marketplace and revenue share the fees with their holders. And I was like, this is a phenomenal idea. That's a real use case of NFTs where it has utility.
Right.
So then I looked back on things that I could do, and I've always been heavily interested in crypto mining, but it's so inaccessible for newcomers. You have to have a huge space. You have to have a huge amount of capital for the investment. You need to generate the power. You need to generate the power sustainably, really. That you need to control the noise, you need to cool the machines, and these aren't cheap. In the bull run, they can be $30,000 to $40,000. So for an individual to get into crypto mining,
Talking about the miners.
yes, it's
Right.
incredibly difficult.
Right.
So with a large NFT community, it's much easier. We can pool our resources, get a huge roster of machines, and then give everyone a fraction of that ownership.
Right.
So that's how Goofy Gopher started to be. That was the nutshell of the idea: have real tangible utility from an NFT project, use the mint proceeds on income producing assets, and then it just started to get more and more layers. We thought, why make it boring? Why make it an equal payout? Why not have gamification, thieves that steal the payout? Then we got more into the theme and lore. We were like, why are the gophers sentient? Why is it medieval-like?
Right.
We had help from a fantasy author to draft up our lore that links everything together. We started thinking about the assets, which gophers would have which items, and then it came together in a really good way, I think, in the end.
Yeah, bro, the art is incredible.
Thank you.
I fell in love with the art first, and when I read the Mind paper, I was like, wow, this is so different. And so, this is, for me, it was like the epitome of what NFTs and crypto, this beautiful marriage of like a connection between developers and community members, and then it's like going on a business venture altogether, you know, and everybody's so involved with people in the community trying to figure out how much the merchants are making. I know we'll get into the professions later. People trying to do math on how much how much each gopher will potentially make. People are going crazy with these, so it's super exciting. This project is honestly super innovative and showing the potential for what people could do in the space, you know. Let me see. Anything else you want to say about how Goofy Gophers came to be?
No, not really. I think that covers it.
Cool. How do you feel about selling out in the bear market?
Yeah, phenomenal. So we had our pre-sale back in October.
All right,
The
yes.
first 1,000. Were you involved in the pre-sale, by the way?
Yeah, bro. Yo, let me tell you about that pre-sale. During that pre-sale, you guys minted at the same time that Cardano Warriors minted their islands.
Yes.
At the time, the Lizard Gang Guild and myself and a few members were minting gophers and islands. I was up for almost 12 hours straight at a certain point trying to mint the islands and then working with or did they mint like a week apart? All I know is that October was so crazy. I barely got sleep on the weekends waiting for the gophers to mint and waiting for these islands to mint. It was a good time. You know, I had a beautiful experience actually minting the gophers in the beginning. You know, who put me onto that? Shout out to McPringles, as a matter of fact. Put me onto gophers right before y'all minted, and you know, and I'll try to put on a couple of people onto that because y'all were only minting 1,000 NFTs at that point. You know?
Yes. Yeah, Mick Pringles is one of our mods. Fantastic. He's always there helping the community. Such a great asset. Thank you, Mick Pringles, and all of the mods. You're amazing.
Yeah, facts. So how did you feel about the first mint, by the way?
So the first mint was hectic. I was at CNFT Con just as a visitor.
In Vegas.
In Vegas, yeah. So we already had a collaboration with Flipper, but I got to meet them in person, help a bit with their booth, which was incredible, by the way. They were showing off their new marketplace. Great to network, but then I went back to New York. They went back to, I guess, the UK, and it was such a hectic week getting ready for that pre-sale. The tokens were ready, but we were Flipper's first ever mint, so there was so much coordination that had to happen. We had a couple of delays, so it was like a sleepless week for everyone. But once that mint was up, it went really, really well. We sold out in, I think, 2 hours. Minimal issues, and then everyone was really excited, and our community was small then. I think we had like 2,000 in the Discord, whereas now we have over 5,000. But also it proved ourselves. So a lot of people would read the Mind paper. They were like, it's fanciful, it's too good to be true. So from that pre-sale, we could show what we were doing. We raised 60K from 1,000 gophers. We got 5 L7s online within a month. Before the main sale, we'd already mined more than 150 Litecoin. So then people started to get really excited. They saw what we were about. We then had our main sale in March. So similar, Flipper had just launched their alpha the day that our mint went live. And it was a bit turbulent. We had an attacker, unfortunately.
Yes, I remember that. Yo, you, the guy who attacked, come to Brooklyn.
No, but it was well handled by the Flipper team. They were in the UK, I was here, so we had a good time difference. We shut down the mint within like an hour of him getting in. He did get a lot of rares, but then we banished those gophers and then put them back into the mint. So yeah, overall it was really, really successful. Sold out in 4 days, I think. And then again, we got moving quite quickly. We got 152 miners online within a month. We were negotiating up for days on end, talking to all our suppliers, getting them to price match, seeing where we could get little deals in. And in the end, we got a phenomenal deal at scale pricing.
Interesting. I want to get into that, but first, let's talk a little bit about the artwork. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So, Goofy Gophers feature pixel art. Why did you choose pixel art?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different styles we tried. But pixel art ended up being a phenomenal benefit because we're on chain, which means there's a low file size that it has to be on chain.
Right.
So the only on chain NFTs I've seen that work are pixel art. But for the art itself, it really works for the Goofy Gopher theme.
Right.
So we tried a few different things. We had like little animations at one point. We tried a 3D model.
Okay.
We tried more of a smooth cartoon look. Like if you've seen Retro Heads or Cuphead, we did that sort of style.
Yes.
And it looked really good, but it's not as customizable. We tried doodle style. That was one of my favorites. It was very nearly in a doodle style.
Oh, wow.
Because with pixel art, it's so hit or miss. If you have a really good pixel artist, it can be like 10 out of 10. But if it's not so good, it very much shows.
Yeah.
So we talked to like 50 or more artists. When we eventually found Gustavo in Brazil, he was phenomenal.
Shout out to Gustavo.
Shout out to you. So he had shading, depth, they're slightly turned to the left, shading, shadows, and it looks really, really effective, especially with our theme. So I'm really, really happy we went with pixel art in the end.
Me too. I love the art. I really love, my favorite art in the project is probably the thieves. And the merchants are really funny, especially the ones that look a little bit like Benjamin Franklin or something like that. You know what? And I have a warrior too. That's a master warrior. He kind of looks like a rock star. I love the different traits in there. It's really fun. They are really goofy, so I think that helps us to be a little bit excited about it too. The next question I got for you, and you already spoke a little bit about how many miners that you got up and what the project is doing, but why did you already tell us why you got into crypto mining?
A little bit, yeah. So I was doing a robotics degree, 1 year of it, and it's heavily electronics based. So everyone there was mining, GPU miners. So I myself and the community manager, Aaron, who's back in the UK.
Aaron, shout out to Aaron.
Shout out to Aaron, but it was hobbyist. I think it was profitable because it was 2016, but as time went on, mining got more and more monopolized. Now, instead of like one person mining, there's now thousands and thousands with the most powerful machines imaginable. So what that means is for just one person trying to mine, it's so much harder. GPUs in the bear market currently aren't even profitable if you're using them. You have to have ASICs. ASICs are application-specific integrated circuits. They're like very powerful computers. They can be 30K in the bull run. At the moment, they're about 5 to 10K. So really, really favorable pricing. But yeah, I've always been into mining. I like the proof of work consensus algorithm. It's highly, highly secure. Proof of stake also is amazing. Obviously, it's environmentally friendly. But I believe in proof of X, where you want lots of different consensus algorithms, not just proof of work, not just proof of stake, but proof of all of the systems together, and that will be truly decentralized.
Interesting. Very interesting. There's a lot to learn when you're getting involved with NFTs and cryptocurrency, and we're going to be touching on a lot of different topics. We're not going to get too deep into teaching you how to, get involved really, but hopefully you learn a lot today. So what coins are you mining, and why did you choose them?
Yeah, so in the end, we actually added 2 more coins after we sold out the main sale. So primarily we're mining Bitcoin. Obviously, it's the OG. Everyone knows it. It's safe. It's unlikely to go to zero. If it does, it's basically game over for all of crypto.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty safe bet. And our Bitcoin mining has been going really, really well because I'm sure you've seen ordinals have come out. So like NFTs on Bitcoin.
That's very interesting, actually.
Yeah, so the thing about mining is you get rewards from solving block rewards, so securing the Bitcoin network, but also you get 2% of the Bitcoin fee revenue. So because there's so much volume now going through ordinals and like Bitcoin meme coins, we're seeing a lot of that benefit. So we're mining a lot more than we would have been before that rush.
Because people are transacting with Bitcoin.
Yes, exactly. So we've had really good results from that. We also have L7s, so they merge mine Dogecoin and Litecoin. That's been going really, really well for us. So from the pre-sale, that was very profitable. Now that's very profitable. They've got a halving coming up in August. Last time in 2019, before the halving, it went up about triple. So we're quite hopeful. We've got a huge amount of these assets mining Litecoin just before the halving. So if it's anything like last time, we're going to see a huge amount of favorability. We're also mining Kadena,
Okay.
which is like a lesser known coin. Their technology is phenomenal. Really,
For their
really good
miners, right?
protocol. Yes. So they're kind of like the new Ethereum. Like everyone's mining Kadena. It promises to stay proof of work. Not to get too in depth, but they use braided chain, which is this really, really innovative consensus algorithm where it's the same as proof of work. You're mining, but the busier and the more popular Kadena gets, the cheaper and the cheaper transactions get and the faster they get. So it's really, really good technology there. And yeah, we've got great results from mining that so far. Then we're also mining Dash a little bit, not too much of a big allocation. But yeah, Dash is like a high profile privacy coin. It did really well before. I'm sure in the next bull run it will come back. And then we've got Nervos, which is a very small coin. This is Bitmain's first ASIC that mines Nervos. We've been doing really, really well with that because less people are doing it. That's with the K7. And yeah, great protocol. It's very, very secure, truly decentralized, and it epitomizes what crypto is all about.
Cool. Nervous. Nervos?
Nervos, yeah.
Nervous is what I was before Ryan got here. But now we're good. That's interesting. So you're mining a plenty amount of coins. It's nice diversification there.
Yeah.
You feel comfortable with that, or you want to mine some more?
We want to diversify as much as possible. Those 6 coins are the best to mine at the moment. So if you look on a site called ASIC Miner Value, it will have how profitable each type of miner is. The 5 types that we have are always top of that list. There's been some talk about Casper. Casper is a small coin. Bitmain are releasing their first ASIC this August to mine it. And because there hasn't been an ASIC for it before from Bitmain, once this comes out, it will be crazy. The first few months will be so profitable.
What's it called again?
Casper.
Casper.
So the machine coming out is a KS3. So we might look at getting some pre-orders. It will be a community vote, actually. Obviously, there's some risk. It's a new machine, but it could be very, very lucrative. So yeah, always a lot of innovation happening in terms of the hardware.
Casper, the friendly ghost. Let's see. Let's see what happens. And I know you said this already, but how many miners are up and running at the moment?
152.
152 miners. That's a good amount.
Yeah.
That's a good amount.
And that count will be live on Kingdom Connect, our dashboard as well.
Interesting. And you're expecting more miners too soon, no? Aren't you?
Yeah, so the first 6 months, all of our profit, or 90% of the profit, goes back into more miners. So in theory, if we wanted to really stock up, we could get about 5 extra miners a month. So in 6 months, that's like 30 more miners if we want to really push all the way into mining. Again, depends on the community vote. But yeah, like 152 is just the start. It's a bear market. These miners are so cheap. So if we were in the bull run, for example, and sold out, we would be lucky to get 40 miners. So the fact we have this vast quantity is really, really powerful.
What's the reaction of the hosts, the people who host the machines?
They love it. So way before we started the project, we were heavily networking in the mining industry. We were talking to machine insurers, machine suppliers, hosts, and we talked to all sorts of hosts, Paraguay, Canada, ones in the US, even some in Europe, because Scandinavia is generally 100% green. But the problem is places like Norway, they don't really like mining operations because it takes a lot of power. And they do allow it, but you can't scale as fast, whereas we want to really scale. So by far the best option for us was the US, the Midwest, and we're in Iowa. And they absolutely love what we're doing. We've brought them a whole huge volume of machines, and not just a lot of megawatts, but the most efficient, the newest machines on the market. So they're absolutely thrilled. And they've been phenomenal. We went out there, we talked to them, we had an interview a bit like this. Really, really know their stuff, very experienced. And yeah, they like what we're doing.
Nice.
Because at the end of the day, they're at the forefront of mining. They see how inaccessible it is. Their clientele has gone down because not many people can afford a $20,000 crypto miner.
Right.
But they see us, we're really opening it to the masses, and they absolutely love that.
Yeah. I mean, I could never think, I would love to own my own Bitcoin mining machine, right? But, you know, getting a gopher was my step in that door. I do mine helium, but it's nothing like mining Bitcoin, you know, or Litecoin or Dogecoin or Cadena. So I think getting into Goofy Gophers was like a nice step in the door for someone who is interested in mining cryptocurrency. Um, so what's the biggest challenge you have with this project?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, the biggest challenge in a way was the bear market, because we started this about a year ago, which is when the bear market was first setting in. So there were complications there. In the bear market, essentially, if you can sell out, it's a much bigger opportunity because crypto is so low, it has the potential to go up a lot more. But it's the bear market. How many people have left the space in general? They've lost interest. Whereas in a bull run, it's all over the news. Everyone's getting so excited. So I would say timing was a bit of an issue. Also, the mining market in general, that's going to take heavy strategy, not just from us, but we're hoping to form a mining council of people in the industry to advise us, valued community members as well. But mining is a difficult game. We have these machines. You have to think about new hardware coming out. So L7s, the Litecoin miners, they're killing it at the moment. But what if the L8 comes out next year? We have to think about that. We have to pivot. So because we have quite a large network in the mining industry, what we would do is if we heard anything, and by the way, this is a long way off. At the moment, none of our machines are being replaced. But if there were rumors, we would sell off our L7 allocation, or at least some of it, and then pivot to the new miner that's going to take a lot of that difficulty.
What are some fun things you have planned for the community in the future?
Yeah, good question. So we only just sold out in March, so our primary focus has definitely been getting the miners online, building Kingdom Connect so everyone can see full transparency exactly what's going on. So that has been our main focus. But I want to do more for the community, that's for sure, because we have 6 months compounding before the staking and things like that start. So yeah, we're going to be doing more community events. I don't want to say exactly what they are because it's like a spoiler, but you know, some normal stuff, rumbles, just other things for engagement, just fun little things for the community because there's so much we can do. We've got great lore, we've got a whole world built. So yeah, we've definitely got a lot up our sleeves. I don't want to say too much right now though.
Cool, it's all right. I was going to ask you, you mentioned Kingdom Connect a few times. Can you tell the community what Kingdom Connect is for the people that don't know?
Absolutely, yeah, and I think we got one Twitter comment about that as well. So Kingdom Connect is going to be the hub for everything GGMC. So the version 1, the MVP, minimum viable product, it will be a mining dashboard. So you'll come onto it, you'll be able to see Bitcoin, Cadena, Litecoin, all of that mined daily, monthly, year to date, ever. I'll be able to put our electric costs in there as well, so that will all be in there. There'll be charts to see everything in real time. You'll be able to see the live hash rate, the total miner count. And yeah, that'll be like the initial version. But then going forward, everything will be on Kingdom Connect. So the voting, that'll be there. The staking, there'll be news. So Discord's great, and we have Discord announcements, but there's a lot of people that aren't on Discord. So if we can have a hub that's outside of that or a newsletter, that would be great. And then, yeah, as we do other things, build other projects, that will all be through Kingdom Connect.
Cool. Sounds fun. And that's where you said that's where people will be staking their gophers at?
Yes, that's right. It will all be through there.
Cool. A question from the community, actually. Are you planning on doing KYC in the future?
Yeah, so that's something I talked to our legal counsel about because I thought we might have to do it. But they actually advise strongly against it. It's not something we're going to be doing. Because the thing is, if you get into KYC, it's a whole different world of regulation because now you're holding people's data. So there's a lot at risk there. You've got to think about how you're storing it, the security, the legality, everything like that. So it's better just not to do KYC at this stage. So nothing immediate.
No KYC. That's good. I love that the lawyers recommended not to do KYC. That's actually pretty funny.
You just have to be so careful once you get into that because it's a heavily regulated area. Once you have people's personal data.
Yeah, I don't want you to have my personal data, bro. Well, now you know my address, but it's all good. Let's see. So someone in the community says, I would love to know the long-term vision. Is a roadmap starting to take shape? For example, in 5 years, is the goal for GGMC to be a $10 million company, a $100 million company?
Okay. Well, from the first mint, we raised, I think, like 1.1 million. So you could argue in the
Nice.
thank you, sir. You could argue in the bull run that it's already a $10 million startup, especially with the assets we have. They can really, really appreciate.
Wow.
But it's pretty hard to say, oh yeah, we're going to be a 100 million company. We don't have future vision. We can't tell what's going to happen,
Right.
but we are going to put all of the effort in we possibly can. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for us as a team as well as for the community. So we're going to put a lot of work in. As for the roadmap and the future vision, at the moment in the bear market, crypto mining with ASICs is such a lucrative opportunity. That was a big reason why we even started the project. So a lot of the focus in the short term, maybe over about the next year, is going to be the miners. How can we possibly get the most miners online while they're this cheap before that bull market sets in? Because once the bull market sets in, the rewards will be like, it could easily 5x. The machines will be way more expensive. Everyone will be turning their machines on. At the moment, there's low difficulty, low machine cost, and we're still mining a lot in crypto. That can only go up from here, hopefully.
Right, hopefully.
So it's going to be a lot of focus on the mining, how we can increase the size of our mine account while rewarding our holders. So we have two quite big projects planned to get a lot more machines online. Not going to give too much information at the moment, but they're very different to each other. They're completely, totally different markets, and anything we do will always reward our holders.
Interesting. Interesting. Do you hold gophers?
Of course, yeah.
Ah,
I
that's
had,
amazing. You participate in the mint?
yeah, so the only way I could get them was minting the same way as everyone else.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I'm into quite a few.
Is that a rule you set for yourself, or is that like literally the only way you could get them?
Oh, we could have done a private mint, but it's a bit scammy. So no, we just had the public mint.
Ah,
I was
right.
minting like everyone else. I got mostly apprentices.
Nice. I feel you on that. Yo, while I was minting, I got 2 merchants. That was crazy. That was crazy. I was like, yo, how did this happen? And there's only, what, 199 merchants?
Yeah, that's really lucky.
Dude, I got so lucky. I got so hype.
And with our secondary volume, we've been killing it on secondary, which it's going better than I could have ever hoped.
There's a lot of
we're-
sales every day.
Yeah, we've been like top of the monthly charts. We're like 40th biggest on Cardano all time now. So because of all that secondary volume, it's benefiting merchants, and I think they're close or they've hit ROI from mint price.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun being part of the community. Everybody is super excited. There's a lot of energy behind it. There's a lot of curiosity behind it. I think it's a beautiful way to get into NFTs and not feel so disconnected from the project, right? Some projects will mint NFTs and kind of like disappear, and you've got a bag full of collected artwork that you may or may not like at the end of the day, but at least Goofy Gophers is providing you utility, rewards, and a community that's really engaged and excited, and a lot of brains coming together to talk about different aspects of the project. It gets really fun when you're in the community. You get into a rabbit hole with people about different topics in crypto in general. And engaging with people from all walks of life who are just connected in different ways. I mean, shout out to guys doing math, because I ain't doing that math.
Yeah, we've been so impressed by the community. Spence, shout out to you.
Shout out to
He's
Spence.
made these crazy models that show everything. We have
Santa
our own.
Spence?
Yeah,
Santa
Santa
Spence.
Spence.
Yeah,
He has
yeah.
the Santa Gopher, loves it.
That's
We
right.
want to create you a custom role at some point. But he's been killing it. We have our own internal models, obviously, but what he's done for the community is amazing. He had us on a space as well just after we sold out. That was really, really good.
Nice.
But yeah, the Gopher community is amazing. It's growing. They're so welcoming. Very diverse backgrounds, all walks of life. Really, really cool to see.
That's one of the coolest parts about getting involved with the NFT community, is the amount of people that you'll meet from different walks of life and from different parts of the world, all trying to learn how to do something, and they put in time just to learn. Is actually kind of inspiring to see what people are trying to learn and put together and develop, right? When you get a bunch of people together in a room that just want to work their brains and improve on what they're already doing, who knows what could happen. And you have all these people in the Goofy Gophers community. So shout out to the community for coming together, staying together, and Shout out to Ryan and Aaron and the whole Goofy Gophers team for getting us all together. So our next question also comes from the community, and they ask, can you explain the Juniper Room and how voting is going to work next month for the project? Is it next month?
Well, it's June. It'll be like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, June 3rd right now.
Yep.
2 or 3 weeks. All right, cool.
So an interesting thing about our voting, it has to meet the epoch of Cardano. So our first.
What's that? The epoch?
In Cardano, every 5 days, it's an epoch, which is like when new blocks are created.
Okay.
So our voting system is going to be fully on chain.
Okay.
So because of that, it has to line up with Cardano. So our vote, we worked it out. Our first vote is probably going to be June 19th.
Interesting.
So we're nearly ready to go on that. You said this is coming out in like a month, so I'll just say it. But we're going to be working with Votaire, which is this solution that offers on-chain voting. They've custom built a solution for us so that everything's weighted. If you have a royal, 3 votes. You said you have merchants, they get 2 votes. Apprentices get 1 vote. So the voting itself is gamified. But in a nutshell, it works a lot like a DAO, so we'll be able to submit proposals. And by the way, shout out to the community again. They've already had so many great ideas for what we can do with the treasury. So we'll look at all them, we'll research it, we'll get our legal team to look at it, and then we'll submit proposals. The community will then come to vote. It will look at which gophers they have, which professions, and then whichever option wins, we will do.
Interesting. That's very interesting. I can't wait to vote. Don't forget to vote. That's right. That's right. It's cool that we'll be voting on chain too. Honestly, I think a project like yours will have a lot of voting in it, right? And people will be really engaged with that, and it'll show other projects how they can use voting, and hopefully people outside of NFTs will see how they could use voting on blockchain, right? Because I think voting on the chain could probably make other voting systems more efficient, maybe. So it's super interesting. I can't wait to get connected with the Juniper Room.
Yeah, so we will be having quite a lot of votes. At first, it will be focused on the mining. So we have this mining profit, about 30K a month at the moment. How much of that should go on machines? Which machines should we buy? More of the same, some different ones. There's a lot of different things we can do. So that will be the primary votes at first. In 6 months, the treasury will come out. So 17.5% of our profit flows into that treasury. What things do we want to do with those funds? People have said we should set up like a Gala Games node, WMT node, trading bots. There's all these different things we can allocate capital to, and that will all be a community vote. We don't want to be gatekeepers. We don't want to be controlling everything. We want everyone to have a say.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to what the community decides to vote on. It sounds like we could probably even support some projects developing in the community right now too, with some of that Juniper Room support. Let's see what happens. All right. So let's see. What will happen when GGMC? This is an interesting question from the community. Ryan and I were talking about this earlier. What will happen when GGMC will be seen as a security in the U.S.? First of all, will it ever be seen as a security in the U.S., right? Because this is assuming that it will. And what will the impact on the project be?
Okay, yeah, I mean, a lot of people ask this. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to go too in depth.
Right.
But I would just say that we have legal counsel in Cyprus, one of the top NFT lawyers in the world.
Sure.
If you look at the biggest projects on ETH that have a similar payout mechanism to us, he's working with all of them. His legal firm, really, really good lawyer. We've been having counsel with them for over a year before we launched any social media, because that was our primary concern. When there's no point in doing it if it's not regulatory okay. But this is why we have deep terms and conditions. You can see that on our website, and it lays everything out. But we're in no way a security. So all we're doing is giving people easy access to crypto mining. Crypto mining itself is not a security. So I think in the US, there's a thing called the Howey test. Point 2 of the Howey test is an expectation of profit. We're very, very careful in our marketing. We've never mentioned anything about ROIs. We've never said, oh, mining is going to make you this much. Each gopher is going to pay off in a year.
Right.
We never say anything like that. Everything is potential. We're just giving access to crypto mining. Could go up, could go down.
Right.
And then the 4th point of the Howey test is it's being performed by others. this is where decentralized governance comes in. This is why we have voting, on-chain voting. It's not just us carrying out actions, it's a community thing. Everyone votes, everyone has a say. And that decentralized governance invalidates the fourth point of the Howey test. But again, this is not something we're worried about. We're incorporated in Cyprus, not the US. The US doesn't really look at foreign corporations. If they did, we could register as a security. It's not something we're afraid of. Don't think it would ever happen. But yeah, we could definitely do it. It's just a lot of paperwork and a bit of a headache. But yeah, not something we're scared of.
We're not scared of it, and it likely won't happen because, like he said, Goofy Gophers is registered in Cyprus, Greece, not in the U.S. So another question from the community: how future-proof is GGMC? Can GGMC withstand a nuclear bomb?
Well, funny actually, we do have machine insurance. We got that set up. So
hopefully insurance still kicks in after a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, like any disaster that can happen, flood, hail, storms, whatever, machines falling over, we're insured for that now. So in the case of a doomsday, even then we're protected, and it's the asset value that we paid, which can update as well. So that's quite good. But we are quite future-proof. You have to think we've got $1 million worth of miners at an all-time low. These are income-producing assets. So yeah, it's not crazy profitable right now in the bear market, but the benefit is when that bull market comes, our mining operation is perfectly placed to be an excellent vehicle to get exposure to all those different crypto coins. So that's like the short-term future. The next bull will be going really, really well. And then for the super long term, again, I said it before, the short term's all about scaling up that mining operation, getting as many miners live as we can. But the long term, I think will be more about the treasury. So we've always got that amount going into the treasury. This is where we can explore other ventures, proof of stake, staking pools, nodes, trading bots, all these different things which are super, super long-term orientated. And then also we can do internal projects through the treasury, things like merch, things to build out the brand, going to like CNFT Con, Mining Disrupt, which is a conference about mining, things like potentially a video game, all these different things we can do for the Goofy Gopher brand to flesh out the universe.
It sounds so fun. What is something do you have an idea of something that you really want to do?
Yes.
You want to share that?
I don't know if I should. Well, our primary focus is everything laid out in the mine paper. So getting the treasury going, the staking, the voting. But then once that core is built, there's a lot we can do. So one long-term thing we want to do is a startup incubator. So exciting upcoming projects can come to us. We'll give them the resources, our network, if it's a good idea, to get them launched. And then we can take an early position in them. And that obviously massively benefits our community. It creates more innovation in the space. We've already had one project come up to us about this. Very, very excited about what they want to do. It's too early to say anything yet.
Interesting.
But then once that core foundation is built, everything's quite passive, and we've marketed like that. People love it because it's passive. You don't have to do anything. You just stake your gopher. But we think, why not have both? Why don't we build some products that people can actively engage with if they want to, and then also have that passive side? So I'd say something I really want to do in the future is a game. I'm a massive gamer, Skyrim, Witcher, Fable, all these things. And we have such deep lore from that fantasy author. We've got a whole world, we've got 9,000 characters. There's so much scope to make a cool Cardano game. So that's something I'd like to do, but that would be way in the future. No immediate plans yet.
Right. And there's plenty of ways to collaborate with earlier, I guess, while you develop that with some other developers in the community too, to get the Gophers represented, maybe even in the current games that are out. We'll see. There's a lot of conversations to have with people out there. Cool. So someone in the community wants to know, what are the projected earnings for each gopher? Ryan, do you have the answer to that question, bro? The pressure is on.
I know in my head what it is roughly. I can't say.
Really? Right. Can you even say that?
No, I'm not supposed to say, because that's when arguments come that we're a security. But it's impossible to predict. If Bitcoin's up 10%, the payouts are 10% higher. So yeah, and also we're compounding. There's going to be the treasury at play. So it's highly speculative. There's a massive range that it could be, but we know roughly what it's going to be. I would just say to manage expectations, it's a deep bear market. It's not going to be very much in the bear market. The benefit of a project like this is the bull run. That's when things can start to get crazy. But yeah, we know it's obviously heavily gamified. If you're a thief that wins the payout, you're going to get quite a lot. Apprentices, less so, but there's a lot of different aspects to it. And I'd just say an amount goes to holders, 40%. The rest of that goes on building the project so that payouts get bigger in the future, so we can do things to build up the brand, so we can get more miners online and more things for the treasury. So even if everything's not going directly back to the holder, or indirectly eventually it is as we grow.
Sweet. What about paying the team out, man? You guys don't get paid?
No, we do. So 25% goes to project development, so we get paid out of that. We do have rent and bills just like everyone else.
Sure, absolutely, and you deserve it because you brought this amazing project to us. So talk to me, Ryan. I know you came here to talk about some more than just these questions. What's next for GGMC?
Yeah, so we're a little bit into the compounding period now. We're about to have our first on-chain vote in June, so that's our focus. Kingdom Connect has been going really, really well. We're building it actually with the Flipper team. We've been able to use some of their open source tooling, so we've been able to build it quick. Like it's nearly ready now, and we only sold out 3 months ago.
Cool.
An app like this normally takes a long, long time and a lot of resources, but it's been wonderful working with them. So Kingdom Connect's going to come out. Then it will be staking at the end of the compounding period. Then it will be our gamification. I just wrote the script that's going to do that, and we've been testing it out. It works really, really well.
Sweet.
Oracles, we have to build something for them because if you own an oracle, there's only 100. You can submit a prediction for the next period. So something, we can set it to like the price of Bitcoin, go for secondary volume. The closest 3 then get all of the allocation for oracles. So that's like a mini app we have to build. We then have 2 projects to massively scale up the mining operation. One will be late summer, one will be the end of 2023.
Cool.
Can't say either of them yet, but they're very different. They're attracting different markets.
Cool.
So that'll go through the treasury. We want to do more things for the brand itself. Like I said, like we're not going to this NFT con, but maybe the next one. We want to do some merch.
Maybe that's the one that I join you at, because I don't think I'm going to go to this next CNFT con either. But I'll probably go to the next one.
Yeah, it's just difficult. And then, like I said, super long term, things to build out the brand, like the game, build out the universe. Going to be a lot of fun to be a gopher holder.
Yeah, it's already super fun. I love the memes and the dad jokes. The bot that pops that. That's hilarious. Every now and then when I'm looking for something to laugh at, I use those bots. What are you most excited about coming next?
I would say, like everyone else, the bull run, because people are undervaluing these miners that we have. It's $1 million in the bear, which means in the bull run it will really, really take off. So if our profit now is over, it's about 1.2 Bitcoin a month. That's like 30K at the moment. In a bull run, that's way more, especially with our diversified coins. Coins like Cadena are 80 cents at the moment. Their all-time high is $22. ADA itself, 35 cents when it was $3.50. We're mining all of these different coins. Once they go up in the bull run, if Bitcoin's, let's say 100K, it's like it was 100K the whole time we were mining it. So I'm excited for the bull run. It's going to give us such a solid foundation, more than we already have, expanding the team, building some great products, some great games, and yeah, just growing Gophers, growing GGMC.
And by mining these coins, it's also beneficial to these blockchains too, no?
Yeah, exactly. So it benefits the blockchains, it secures them, we're verifying their transactions. And yeah, it's good for our community as well, obviously.
Very interesting. That's the end of the questions that we have from the community. Ryan, is there anything else that you'd like to say to the community?
No, I can't really reveal anything else at the moment, but just keep in the Discord, stay engaged. We're going to be doing a lot of community events going forward, especially during the compounding period. We've got a lot of fun things planned. And yeah, thanks everyone for buying a Gophers, supporting our vision. Absolutely phenomenal. We are so, so happy we chose Cardano because I had a previous project on Polygon. impossible to stand out. It's on OpenSea, it's just crazy, the competition. But it was a great learning opportunity. That's where I learned really about NFTs, about the creative side of them. But yeah, Cardano, there's not another community like Cardano. The technology, non-custodial staking, it's phenomenal. For me, it is the best crypto, Cardano, and it's been great. The NFTs are growing. There's more and more innovation every day.
Right.
Love what projects like the Ape Society are doing. Did you see the plunge pool?
That's the Ape Society?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know nothing about the Ape Society, man.
So they
Cardano Warriors through and
yeah,
through.
again, Cardano Warriors, this fantastic MMO game. There's just so much happening. Whereas you look on chains like ETH, there's great projects, but it's like 1 in a million are actually good.
Right, right. I think it's so interesting in the space. Everybody wants to be successful in the space. You know, the coming of NFTs provided an opportunity for artists and people around the world to make some extra income. But I think projects with, I don't want to say value, I want to say projects that are innovating, projects that are changing the space up, you know, that are taking advantage of the technology that's stemming from blockchain, and projects that are bringing community together. I think they're harder to find, and I think there's a lot of, you know, just profile picture projects. There's not even a lot of art for the sake of the art, right? Like, I think, I don't know if the community is scared of that, but I would personally rather collect one-of-ones than, you know, minting a potential rug pull, because I've been there, right? Minting like 10 assets of a project that all of a sudden disappears. I'd rather support an artist who's like putting out a one-of-one every month just because they love to create, you know. But I think there's so many different people engaging with NFTs. There's people that's just in it for the flip. There's people in it who actually love artwork and who are interested in collecting this unique artwork that's coming to them through the NFT technology. You know, there's different reasons why people come into the NFT space. So I think that's what's beautiful about NFTs. I think that we should have higher standards in the community. I think it would be nice to have some support from, you know, maybe the Cardano Foundation or whoever is, you know, supporting this blockchain, right? Like moving this blockchain and preventing more scams and preventing, I don't know how we can prevent rug pulls from happening, but it would be nice for mentors. How do you call people like Flipper? What are they, like platforms that help projects mint? What is there?
Minters?
Mentors, right? I wish this is I don't know if I'm even put this out there in this video, but if it does come out, this is a message to all you mentors. Y'all need higher standards in how you and who you allow to mint through your platform. You know, and I don't know how we're gonna decide these standards, but I think we do need higher standards for who we allow to mint, because a lot of people come and steal people's money. They promise a whole lot to communities and end up disappearing. And, you know, that discourages people from investing in NFTs when you have a project like Goofy Gopher's Mining Club in the space, or you had mentioned the Ape Society or Cardano Warriors, right? Flipper, we mentioned Ghost Chain. So there's other projects out there too that are constantly developing, right? That some people don't even know about too. And then you have projects that come maybe sell 1,000 units and just disappear from the buyers, right? And every artist, every business person has the right to do whatever they want to do with their business, right? If they're just selling you a piece of artwork, right? But if you're gonna come out here and promise a dream and then disappear, I don't know. We got to do more as a community to make sure people who come into the community are not hurt, are not scammed, and it helps that we come together to shout out to the community for reporting scammers as soon as scammers come around. Shout out to the community for keeping their ears to the ground and like what's happening, you know, to keep people safe. You know, when that news came out about Ledger, everybody was coming out to share information about how to make sure that their crypto was protected. This aspect of the community is something that I love, is that everybody out here is trying to help make sure that everybody's protected and safe when they're investing. Yeah, so that kind of brings us towards the ends of this conversation. I'm so thankful for Ryan coming out here, taking some time to come to Brooklyn. I'm so thankful for the community. You know, I did this for y'all. Um, this video is probably going to come out on YouTube, on the Goofy Gophers Mining Club YouTube channel. So watch out for that. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for coming, bro. We did it.
Yeah, thank you so much, all of you guys, your fantastic team. Really, really grateful for this. Like I said, the perfect time. We sold out 3 months ago. Everyone's wondering what we're doing next. And yeah, you guys didn't have to do this. Took time out of your busy weekend in this amazing studio. Really, really professional setup. So yeah, thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you. We here.